Hi, my name's Tim Gorgichuk. I've been in the service industry for 25 years, a little bit more, so I got a ton of stories. I've probably forgotten most of the stories, on purpose probably, because I don't want to remember, but I do have a few. There are obviously, everyone has awkward moments at tables. I can remember I ran up to a table all eager one night, like, "Hey ladies, how you doing? Can I get you something to drink? Is everything?" I look down and go, "Oh, sorry sir, I didn't mean to call you a lady, Sorry about that." It was a lady. What do? There's nothing you can do. I had to walk away, get someone else to serve them. Those are classic things. There was another occasion, again awkward. I'm at a table. It's probably one of the most awkward. I walked up to a table, a man and his wife and their two daughters. This is in Kingston. And this particular restaurant was a Greek restaurant. I always ate before you worked there. They fed you food, and of course the Greek food would not always agree with me in the correct way, and I'm at the table and I can feel the pressure building. The pressure's building. And they're of course taking their time with the menu, asking every other question and wanting to know what's in everything, and I'm trying to be as polite as possible, and I had a lot of pressure and I'm trying to hold it. And I think I shifted my weight from one leg to the other leg, and it was that tiny shift that let a little split there and a little came out. Now this was the deadliest of the silent and deadly, to the point where I'm still in the midst of trying to take this order, and everyone at the table, well, people's eyes were watering almost at this point. It was very, very bad. Something had to be done. So I look down at the father, the husband, and I say, "Sir, please." To at this point his wife goes, "I knew it was you. You." Of course he denies it up. He's like, "It wasn't me." And she's like, "You say that every time it's not you." "I knew it was you." What could I do? I had no recourse. To this day, I'm sorry. If you see this, it was me. I tooted. Your family should know. But at the point, I couldn't do it. I was so embarrassed. There have been lots of other memories. I've had a few nice exits. There was one chain restaurant that I worked at, and after a year after you'd been there, you were to get a quarter raise. And I had left and gave notice when I left, and I'd been there for, maybe 18 months, so 6 or 8 months over the year. And when I got my final pay, I noticed that I hadn't looked before, but I noticed that I never did get this 25-cent an hour raise. Imagine that. They didn't give it to you. So I brought it up to them, and they were, "Oh yeah, you should have got it. Here, we'll get it for you. Don't worry about it." And unfortunately, it won't be ready this pay because it's already been done. But come by next pay, and we'll have a check for you. And of course, I go by next pay, and there was some excuse, the accountant, blah blah blah. I couldn't do it, so next pay. So I go back 2 weeks later, and it was another story about how and now it's become a principal thing. And I'm getting upset. So I go in for the third time. So this is 6 weeks or 8 weeks after I'd been there, and I knew they were all having a meeting. The owners and the manager is there, and I go to the table. And they're sitting in a booth in the middle of the table, in the middle of the restaurant. There's people. There's faces the kitchen, and the bar's over here. And I get to the table, and she sees me and knows exactly what the manager, and she tries to come out with her story about, and I say at the top of my lungs, "What the fuck is going on?" I said, "You guys have been dicking me out of everything." I said, "Why don't I turn around and bend over so it's easier for you guys to fuck me?" And as I turned around and bent over and looked at the kitchen line and scanned the bar, it was one of those moments where everything stopped. And I don't know if you've been in a restaurant, they're noisy, and you could hear a pin drop. I think they were waiting for me to pull out a gun or something. Needless to say, 2 minutes later I had a check in my hand and I was on my way home, but that's classic restaurant. But I hope you like it. Again, you could vote for me if you want. I got a ton of ideas. Maybe you guys should hire me as a writer because I got so many stories, but thanks again. I hope you enjoyed.